In the ever-unfolding saga of TLC's sister wives, Kody Brown has become more than just a reality TV personality. He's a symbol of unconventional family dynamics, the subject of public fascination, and for many, a cautionary tale wrapped in emotional complexities. But in a recent turn of events that has left fans speechless and intrigued, Kody Brown has unveiled a startling new look that goes far beyond aesthetic transformation. What initially appears to be a physical makeover is, in truth, a reflection of something deeper, an internal shift, a redefinition of identity, and possibly the emergence of a new phase in the controversial patriarch's life. Viewers who have followed Sister Wives for over a decade are familiar with Kody's signature style. His wild, shoulder-length curls, sun-drenched skin, and often disheveled cowboy meet surfer look have become as iconic as the plural marriage at the center of the show. But when Kody stepped out recently with a clean-shaven face, short-cropped hair, and even hints of cosmetic dental work, the internet erupted in speculation. Question wasn't just why Kody was changing his appearance, but what this transformation could symbolize in the context of his fractured relationships, dwindling household unity, and personal evolution. As fans dissected every photo and social media snippet, one thing became increasingly clear. This makeover was not merely a response to aging or a nod to fashion trends. It appeared to be part of a broader mission to reclaim his narrative, reshape his public image, and potentially prepare for a new chapter devoid of the shadows cast by his estranged wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine. While outward changes like dental enhancements or a new wardrobe may appear superficial, in the world of reality television they often serve as powerful metaphors. For Kody, whose dominance over the Brown family has been consistently challenged in recent years, this evolution seems to echo a deeper emotional and psychological rebirth. Christine Brown, who was the first of Kody's spiritual wives to walk away from the plural marriage, has made headlines of her own for finding love, remarrying, and openly criticizing Kody's emotional unavailability. Janelle, once the pragmatic and peacekeeping wife, eventually followed suit, citing a lack of communication and partnership. Even Mary, who tried to hold on for years despite feeling sidelined, finally accepted the reality that Kody no longer considered her part of his intimate life. All of these departures left Robyn, his only legal wife, as the last woman standing. And even that dynamic has not escaped public scrutiny. It's within this backdrop of romantic decay and familial implosion that Kody's transformation should be understood. The new haircut, the polished smile, the altered facial expressions, all serve as a canvas upon which he seems to be painting a new version of himself. It's a version that perhaps seeks to distance itself from the emotionally unavailable, often dictatorial Kody that fans have come to resent. This Kody appears to be searching, rebranding, and maybe even repenting. Insiders close to the Brown family have hinted that the new look was part of Kody's desire to feel good about himself again after years of tumultuous relationships and relentless public judgment. It's no secret that the dissolution of his plural marriages has taken a visible toll on him, both emotionally and physically. Fans have noted how stressed and angry he appeared in the most recent seasons, often lashing out in confessionals, visibly losing control of the family unit he once ruled with patriarchal authority. This was a man grappling with rejection, betrayal, and perhaps most devastating of all, irrelevance. When Christine left, the domino effect was set into motion and Kody's world, carefully constructed over decades, crumbled before the eyes of millions. So when Kody appears on camera now, noticeably altered in appearance, he's also altered in presence. Tone of his speech has softened in certain interviews, though his combative edge still occasionally surfaces. His body language is more self-aware, less arrogant, more careful. These subtle changes have not gone unnoticed by viewers, many of whom speculate that Kody is gearing up for something bigger, perhaps a redemption arc, or even the relaunch of his role as a father now that his role as a husband has so thoroughly disintegrated. The role of public opinion in all of this cannot be underestimated. Kody has long been one of reality television's most polarizing figures. While some viewers sympathize with the difficulties of managing such a large and complex family, others have criticized his clear favoritism toward Robyn, his lack of emotional intimacy with his other wives, and his controlling demeanor. The backlash intensified as viewers began seeing his children express dissatisfaction and emotional pain in the wake of family separations. The once tight-knit Brown clan now appears fractured and scattered, held together only by the lens of a reality TV crew. It's worth noting that Kody's recent makeover comes during a time when his public image is perhaps at its most fragile. Social media is rife with negative commentary, memes poking fun at his parenting, and critiques of how he treated his wives during their most vulnerable moments. Kody may not directly engage with much of this discourse, but it's virtually impossible to believe he remains unaffected. Every detail, from the shape of his beard to the whiteness of his new teeth, feels like an effort to regain some measure of control, some piece of dignity, or perhaps even an attempt to woo back favor from a jaded audience. In this vein, some believe the makeover might also be tied to potential career moves beyond sister wives. With the original family structure decimated and TLC's future involvement with the franchise possibly evolving, there's a likelihood that Kody is preparing for spin-offs, interviews, podcasts, or even authoring a book. A reinvented image could pave the way for such endeavors, positioning him as a man who's learned from his mistakes, who is evolving, and who still has something valuable to offer. Whether or not the audience is willing to buy into that remains to be seen, but Kody seems ready to try. Kody's transformation has also sparked reactions from his children, especially those who've been candid about the dysfunction within the family. Some have been silent, others cryptic. Michael T., one of Christine's daughters, has hinted on social media that people sometimes change their outsides when they can't fix what's inside. Others have shown cautious support, saying that if this change leads to personal growth, then it's a step in the right direction. Still, the overarching tone remains skeptical. For many of the adult Brown children, the hurt caused by their father's past actions isn't something that can be healed with a new wardrobe or dental veneers. Meanwhile, Robyn's reaction to the new look is notably private. Unlike in previous seasons where she often commented on Kody's state of mind or justified his behavior, she's remained largely silent about his makeover. Some fans interpret this as tension behind the scenes, while others believe she's trying to stay out of the spotlight to avoid further backlash. Regardless, her silence only adds to the mystery. Kody is transforming to better suit Robyn's preferences. Her lack of public endorsement feels conspicuous. If he's doing it for himself, then perhaps this signals a growing independence from even his last remaining wife. Kody's new appearance may also be a subtle acknowledgement of time's passing. 55, he's no longer the energetic father of toddlers or the youthful husband courting multiple women. His children are growing, leaving, and forming lives of their own. The old Kody, with his devil-may-care attitude and religious fervor for polygamy, seems to be fading into the past. What's emerging is a more isolated, introspective version of the man who once claimed to be able to love 4 women equally. Whether this version is wiser or simply more desperate remains a topic of debate among fans. Yet the truth remains that physical change is often the first step people take when attempting to reset their lives. It's visible, tangible. It's the kind of transformation that says, "I'm trying." And even if Kody's reasons are layered with vanity or public relations strategy, they may still be grounded in a sincere desire for reinvention. Everyone deserves the chance to evolve. Question is whether Kody Brown will be allowed the space to do so by a public that has seen the good, the bad, and the truly painful moments of his life play out on national television. If Sister Wives continues, and all signs suggest that new content is in development, then Kody's new look may serve as a narrative hook for upcoming episodes. Audiences will be watching closely to see how this outward change plays into his behavior, his decisions, and his interactions with his children and Robyn. Will a new haircut lead to a new mindset? Will dental work lead to healing words spoken with a smile? Or is this simply the latest in a series of performative gestures that fail to address the root of the family's dysfunction? In the end, Kody Brown's new look isn't just about appearance. It's about signaling change, reclaiming control, and inviting a second act, whether the world wants it or not. For a man who's spent over a decade living under a microscope, any move he makes is bound to be scrutinized. But perhaps that's exactly what he wants. Maybe, just maybe, this makeover is Kody's way of saying, "I'm still here. I'm still evolving." And the story isn't over yet. Christine Brown is a woman transformed. For years, viewers of TLC's Sister Wives watched her navigate the emotional isolation and invisible wounds of a plural marriage that never truly filled her spirit. As one of Kody Brown's 3 spiritual wives, she spent decades in a system that, while once rooted in faith and idealism, slowly chipped away at her confidence, joy, and sense of romantic fulfillment. But all of that feels like a distant memory now. Christine is not only glowing with happiness these days, she's unabashedly, visibly, and beautifully in love. And her love story with David Woolley isn't just a personal victory, it's an awakening that fans can't stop celebrating. Where once there were awkward family gatherings full of thin smiles and unspoken tension, there are now giggles, bear hugs, and passionate embraces. Where once Christine forced herself to settle for Kody's crumbs of affection, she is now lavished with the kind of open devotion that speaks volumes without a single word. Her relationship with David Woolley is not just authentic, it's overflowing. Couple is, as fans love to put it, all over each other, both physically and emotionally, and that connection has breathed new life into Christine's public persona and her private world. When Christine first introduced David to the world through Instagram, the shift was undeniable. It wasn't just that she was dating again, it was that she looked like someone who had finally taken a full breath of air after living underwater for far too long. Her eyes sparkled in a way fans hadn't seen in years. Her smile was freer, more confident. But the real surprise came in the photos and videos that followed. Christine and David weren't shy about showing affection. From cozy dinners to Disneyland adventures, road trips, and family reunions, they were everywhere. Arms around each other, eyes locked, laughter spilling out effortlessly. It wasn't just a relationship, it was a revelation. And viewers noticed. Fans of Sister Wives, who had long expressed heartbreak over Christine's emotional neglect within her plural marriage, were now watching a woman come alive again. Gone was the emotional restraint and the performative politeness required in her former dynamic. In its place was something organic and wildly refreshing, Christine being adored, out loud and in public. She and David post selfies wrapped in each other's arms. They hold hands in nearly every photograph. They kiss, they flirt, they tease, and Christine beams in every frame. Critics, of course, tried to dismiss it as a rebound romance. Some accused Christine of flaunting her happiness too brazenly, perhaps even trying to provoke Kody. But those voices have grown quieter as the months have passed and Christine and David have continued to show the depth and authenticity of their bond. It's not just about public displays of affection. It's about the consistency, the safety, and the joy that radiates from their partnership. This isn't revenge. It's redemption. David Woolley, a construction executive and widower, has brought with him a kind of stability that Christine has never publicly experienced before. He's not involved in polygamy. He's not caught up in spiritual hierarchies or toxic family politics. He's just a man who adores Christine. And what's more powerful, he's a man who shows it. Fans have marveled at how attentive he is. He opens doors for her. He listens. He praises her cooking. He laughs at her jokes. He embraces her children and grandchildren. In short, he gives her the kind of love story she never thought she'd have after leaving Kody. And Christine is leaning all the way in. She's not playing coy or pretending to be reserved. She's affectionate, playful, and fully immersed in her relationship. Whether she's sharing a video of them dancing in the kitchen or a snapshot from their latest romantic getaway, she is embracing her new life with open arms, and David's arms are always right there, wrapped tightly around her. Their wedding, which became one of the most anticipated reality TV events of the year, was a culmination of their whirlwind romance and a symbol of Christine's new chapter. She wore a radiant dress that mirrored the light in her eyes, while David looked equally smitten, never once taking his gaze off his bride. Their vows were heartfelt, intimate, and full of the kind of hope that only comes after deep heartbreak. The couple's wedding wasn't just a celebration of love. It was a moment of healing for Christine and her loyal viewers, who had watched her suffer in silence for far too long. Behind the scenes, friends and family of Christine have confirmed what fans already suspected: David is the real deal. He's patient with her past. He's supportive of her independence. He's grounded in a reality that is refreshingly free of TV drama and patriarchal expectations. And perhaps most telling of all, he loves Christine out loud. Whether in public or private, David reportedly never holds back in affirming how lucky he feels to be with her. Kody Brown's reaction to Christine's very public love story has been predictably complicated. In interviews, he's hinted at confusion, irritation, and even disbelief. He's questioned the speed of the relationship. He's implied that Christine is chasing validation. But what many see instead is a man unaccustomed to watching one of his former wives thrive without him. Christine's flourishing, affectionate relationship with David is a direct contrast to the emotionally starved dynamic she endured with Kody. And fans aren't shy about pointing that out. Christine herself has alluded to the contrast. In interviews and social media posts, she's acknowledged that the love she shares with David is unlike anything she's experienced before. It's not hard. It's not confusing. It's not something she has to fight for or justify. It just is. And that peace, that ease, is visible in every kiss they share, every laugh they exchange, and every gentle touch caught on camera. What's perhaps most touching is how David has seamlessly become part of Christine's family. He's been photographed attending birthday parties for Christine's grandchildren, hugging her daughters, and bonding with extended family members. The integration has been smooth, loving, and full of mutual respect. For Christine, who spent years feeling isolated in a family structure that never truly nurtured her individuality, this kind of inclusive love is revolutionary. Their relationship has also sparked deeper conversations about women reclaiming happiness after toxic or unfulfilling relationships. Christine's journey is not just inspiring, it's empowering. She represents a narrative that is all too rare on reality television. The woman who walks away, not broken but brave, and then finds joy on her own terms. She didn't just escape Kody's shadow. She stepped fully into her own light. Fans continue to cheer her on. Every post featuring Christine and David wrapped around each other like newlyweds, even months after tying the knot, is met with applause. Comments are filled with affirmations, support, and relief. 'Cause it's not just about Christine being happy. It's about her being seen. And it's clear that David sees her in a way no one ever has before. Even as the next season of Sister Wives looms on the horizon, Christine's storyline has already written itself into viewers' hearts. Her love with David has brought emotional closure to a chapter many assumed would end in bitterness. Instead, it has ended in kisses, dancing, laughter, and a kind of raw, honest intimacy that no longer needs to hide behind spiritual justifications or household politics. Christine and David are not just all over each other. They are all over the timeline, the screen, the narrative, and for all the right reasons. They are proof that it's never too late to find the kind of love that lifts you higher, holds you tighter, and lets you finally exhale. In a world full of heartbreak and half-fulfilled promises, their love is real, loud, and proudly, beautifully messy. Just like life.